All right, so what you got?
I have 3x minus 8 equals 5x minus 7. I think I figured it out this morning, but I just want to make sure.
Okay.
So what
So,
I did was I subtracted 8 from both sides.
all right, so now did you say 3x minus 8?
Yeah.
So now if you're going to get that
I mean,
8,
sorry, I added 8.
oh, okay,
So
okay,
sorry.
good. All right. So you add 8 to both sides. And let me say this. So for those who don't know what her strategy is at this moment, you have x on two sides of, or both sides of the equation, and you need to get that x term to one side, and then all the terms without x to the other. So she decided to add 8 first. It doesn't matter which term you decide to move first. Just remember that your goal should be to get all of your variables, all of your terms with the variable on one side, all of your terms without the variable to the other side. So when you add x 8 to both sides, they cancel out on the left. And then on the right, you add it to that -7, which will give you a +1. All right, Miss Chambers, your next move was?
After that, I did minus 5.
You got it. So they cancel on the right. And that leaves us with -2x equal to 1.
And then this is where I had the problem with when I did the other way, but I figured it out this morning when I did it this way.
Okay.
Then you divide 2 into both sides.
Yeah, divide by -2.
And then x equals -1/2.
So now you said you did it the other way. And what was your other way?
The other way, I subtracted a 3 from both sides. And then I ended up with -1. And then
Hold on. So when you subtract the 3x from both sides, the first thing you will have is -8 equal to 2x minus 7, right?
7. Yes.
And then you added 7 to both
7 to
sides.
both sides. And then that should equal -1 equals 2x. And then I guess I was getting confused because I seen the one which I was supposed to just do the exact same thing too.
Yeah.
I was kind of confused. That was where I messed up.
Okay, not a problem. But I just wanted to make sure because either way you still should you just say you still should get the same answer. So yeah. All right. So anybody have any questions on this one before we go to our next one? All right. So what's your next
one? The next one is 4 parentheses 4x minus 9. Minus 1.9. Sorry. Parentheses equals 2x minus 7.6.
All right. So first thing I would do is distribute the 4 into the parentheses because you want access to that x term.
Equals 16x minus 7.6 equals 2x minus 7.6. So now, the next.
Let me say this real quick. So now, for those who are following along, we're in the same situation that we were initially with this one, where we have x terms on two different sides of the equation. So we need to get all of our terms with x on one side, all of our terms without x to the other. All right, Ms. Chambers.
What I did was I added 7.6 to both sides, and they both cancel out.
All right. So far, so good.
I think this is where I messed up.
Okay, not a problem. So what your goal still should be to get all of your terms with x to one side, so you can subtract 2x.
Okay.
Yeah. And 2x minus 2x is 0.
And then you get 14x. Oh, okay. So you divide 14 into 0.
Mm-hmm.
And x equals 0.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's what. That's the. Let's see what my next one is.
Mm-hmm.
My next one is 13 over 12 z equals 1/8 minus 13 over 18.
Okay.
I don't know what I do with this problem. I rewrote it down this morning.
So no variables on that right side, right?
Yeah, I know we gotta find LCD.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So if you want to find the LCD, looking at the smallest number that all three of them can go divide into evenly. Okay, let's do this.
I think it was 64 if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember where I put the paper.
Okay, so LCD is going to be 2 cubed. Okay, so I was right. I was saying 72. Yeah. Okay, I said 72 in my head, but I wanted to make sure. Okay, so 72 would be that for us. Hold up, no, it can't be 72 times some 4 times 3. 3 squared. 8 times, right? I'm missing with my 12. 2 times 4, 3. Oh, okay, I'm about to say, yeah, I thought I was right. I must have hit some, must have fat fingered in my calculator when I did my check. Okay, so 72 is ILCD. So, well, if you ever dealt with this process, don't know that process, what I did was I broke them down to prime numbers and then wrote them as exponents.
Mm-hmm.
And then the highest exponent of each different prime number is what I took. So, in other words, and I could have wrote this way. I could have said 2 cubed times 3 squared, 72. So in other words, I had 2 and 3 as my different prime numbers. Any prime number I see should be a part of my LCD. So if I had a 5 back here, then 5 would have been a part of the LCD as well. But I took each prime number. The only ones I had was 2 and 3. Then I took the highest exponent. So 2 cubed was the highest exponent for that 2, and then 3 squared was the highest exponent for that 3. And that's my LCD. So other than that, what you would just do is go down the list, 12 times 1, 12 times 2, 12 times 3, till you get to a multiple that all three of them have in common. So now you take that 72 and multiply each numerator by it. So 13, 1, 13, 8. Okay.
So you're multiplying the LCD times that numerator.
To each numerator. Yep. Because what's going to happen is the 12 will go into the 72 and leave you with 6. 8 goes into 72, leaves you with 9. And that should be, I wrote a 12, should be 7. I believe that's 4. Yep. 18 goes into 17, 72 and leave you with 4. So what you're left with before you simplify it, And for those who, were just, jotting down notes, remember this is just one way of doing this. If I go back here and if I just wanted to do the work with the fraction involved, you could have done that as well. But it's up to you. But this is how you clear out your fractions.
So it's going to be
All right, so.
Can I ask you where you got this 52 from?
4 times 13.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh, because the 9 is just by itself. I got it. I
see what you So we did 6 times 13. This is for everybody. 6 times 13 gave us that 78. Of course, 9 times 1 is 9. And then 4 times 13 is that 52. And then 9 minus 52 is negative 43. And now to finish the solving, divide by 78. And z is equal to negative 43 over 78.
So that's the actual answer.
Mm-hmm. I know it looked funky, but yeah.
that's one I'm gonna have to work on.
All right. What else we got? Got another one, or that was it?
I got one more.
Okay, cool.
It's m plus 6. M over 4.
Oh, M over 4.
Plus 6 equals m over 3 plus 5.
Okay. This one's LCD is a little bit easier.
12.
Mm-hmm. But we still follow the same process. That's if you want to clear out your fractions, you follow the same process. Multiply the LCD to each numerator. All right, so now we can cancel. That 4 goes into 12, leaves you with 3. 3 goes into 12, leaves you with 4. And I'm just writing down everything before I do the multiplication. All right. That simplifies to 3m plus 72 equal to 4m plus 60. So now once again, we have our variable on both sides of our equation. So we need to get the terms with the variable on one side, terms without the variable to the other side. And I'm going to take the 4m over just because of what will happen, and want to emphasize part of the process that could occur. So subtracting 4m from both sides will give you negative m, or negative 1m, plus 72 equal to 60. Subtract 72. Black. Negative m equal to negative 12. So now, remember, your goal is to solve for m, not negative m. So to get the negative off, just take that over there. Negative to a negative is positive, so you have m equal to positive 12. All right. Any questions on that one? All right. Any other questions anybody want to see done? Or? Everybody good? Any type of problems? Anybody know they have an issue with, or just having, you know?
I can't even tell you because I'm gonna tell you I'm one of them ones that ain't been doing my homework, so I can't say right now. Just to tell the truth about it.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
It's 55x.
Oh, hold on. All right, 55x
minus 5y
minus 5y
equals 7.3.
7.3. All right, so what we doing here?
Find the slope of the line.
Okay, we want to find the slope. All right. So what you're going to do is solve whenever you're trying to find the slope and they give you an equation, you want to solve for y because you want to put it in the form of y equal to mx plus b. Yep. And so whatever's sitting in front of your x after you solve for y would be your slope. So let's go back to the equation. So no, I won't say that. So yep, let's go ahead and subtract 55x from both sides. 55x cancels on the left. All right, and then we want to divide by that -5. -5 cancels. And don't forget that this -5 has to go to each term. So what we're looking at is -55 y over -5, 7.3 over -5. Now, if all we're trying to do is find the slope, we really don't, that really doesn't matter.
It's just the slope, so it'll be 11.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you got it. So let me drop this up here. And so, yep, like you said, it'll be 11 because that's all this problem was asking for. What is the slope? Mm-hmm. All right. Any other questions? Anybody? So I'm not going to do anything new today. Just try to give you guys a chance to get more work done without me slapping you in the face with more new material. Before we get into anything new next class, I'll open up the floor once again, see if you have any questions on anything. But the difference between this class and next class is that, after we're done with questions, I'll go ahead into a new topic. But I will open up the floor, see if you have any questions. So
I'm sorry,
feel free.
I have another question.
Yeah.
For homework, it's finding a slope.
Okay. So
a parallel line and a perpendicular line.
All right. So before I get to that, so just keep that in mind for next class. That if you have questions, feel free to bring them next class. We'll knock them out before we actually get into the new lecture. So what you got, sir?
It's just to find the slope of the line that is A parallel and B perpendicular to the line with the pair points.
Okay.
And -7 is the first point.
Hold on. Sorry, somebody was opening and closing the door. I thought I'd be able to power through it, but they drowned you out completely. So what were the points?
-1 and -7
Mm-hmm.
and 7 and 4.
All right, 7 and 4. All right, so
On the parallel line point, it's 11/8. But when it comes to the perpendicular line, I'm stuck.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you already found the slope for this and you already know the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and walk through the process and, you know,
Okay,
for everybody else, and then we'll get there. Yeah. So what I would do is go ahead and call this one point 1, x1, y1. Call this one point 2, x2, y2. Now, if you ended up calling them the other way around, it still will give you the same answer as long as you're consistent in your substitutions. So the slope formula, y2 minus y1 equal to x2 minus x1. So y2 for us is 4, y1 is -7. So make sure you're careful and with your substitution, you don't lose a negative. And then x2 is 7, and x1 is -1. All right, negative to a negative turns positive. So I have +11/8. So this is the slope of the line that we're dealing with. Before we go to what the actual answers would be, any questions? All right. So now, if we're looking at a line that's going to be parallel to this one, it would have the same slope. So that's what he was mentioning when he said the first answer would be 11/8 because it would be the same if it's parallel. All right. Perpendicular line is going to be the negative reciprocal. So that means it will be opposite sign and you flip the fraction. So that'll be a -8/11. So that's how you do that. Use the opposite sign and you will flip the fraction. All right. Was that okay, sir?
That's perfect.
All right, sounds good. Anybody else, anything else before we close out today? Anything else you guys can think about or think of me answering before we call it a day? All right. Okay. So, like I said, take advantage of the opportunity, not hitting you guys with anything new today. Like I said, go through my math lab, see if you have any more questions. We'll address those on next class if you have them. And we'll go from there. So you guys have a great day. Be safe. Try to be more positive. Be positive, so we all gonna be all right. We know we're gonna get through this, y'all. We're gonna get through
Was that to me? It was baby like
it. It's to everybody.
y'all. Bye bye.
Everybody. All right, you guys take care.
You too.
All right.
All right.
Have a good day.
All right, you do the same.